Hey everybody, this is Freedom is the Right coming to you with a brand new video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Jazz. This figure has been a great one to add to my collection so far. He's definitely not without his flaws, but overall he's an awesome figure. So without further ado, let's get into it. So taking a look here at Jazz in his vehicle mode, as you can see, he's a really nicely done car. Coming in close, the one issue that I do have with him is here. It doesn't look like this part sits flush, and I'm not really sure if it's just a case of my particular copy, because I have seen it on some other people's posts of pictures, and I don't want to try to force it anymore, because as you can see there's already a little crack here in the windshield, so I don't want to push that any further. But other than that, coming in, looking at the windshield, we have the nice Autobot logo on the hood and this blue paint and red stripe here, which looks really great. I have that on top here for the hood as well. And this whole top section is done in clear plastic and then is painted in white and then the blue and the red. It looks really nice. The color matching seems to be done pretty well too. It doesn't seem to stand out from the rest of the plastic. There's some really nice molded in detail here all along the car. And looking here at the wheels, both wheels front and back are picked out in silver paint here for the center. This part has a mushroom peg and the back has a pin. I'm not sure why they couldn't have done a pin here for this as well. That would have been nice to see. We have the number 14 along the car side here. Something I would have liked to see is some paint along this section here. If you look at the animation model, there is some paint here. And I'm sure there's plenty of third-party upgrade kits that you can purchase to add to that, but it would have been nice to see it on the figure already. Coming here to the back, the feet are kind of just hanging out, and it doesn't look the best, but honestly, from most angles that you'd be posing him, it doesn't really stick out at all. And coming here to the underside, you can see the top of his head here. But other than that, everything compacts up really nicely, and there's not really much robot hanging out back here, which is always great to see. And then coming here to see how he can roll, and he does roll really well, which is great. So yeah, that's kind of it for vehicle mode. So I guess we can now come in with the weapon, and this is his gun. It's cast in a white plastic and it's picked out in silver paint. It's detailed really nicely, which is cool. And of course you can store this on the vehicle mode. There's a port here at the top that you can stick it into. So there you have that. So that's where you can put it in vehicle mode if you'd like to. You can put that off to the side. And also coming in here to the front, I do want to point out there's some really nice silver here and some blue paint to pick out the headlights, which is really nice, and some red here along the bottom. But all in all, that kind of covers it for vehicle mode, so we can go ahead and get down to transformation. So the first thing we're going to want to do is come here to these side door panels, and you can see that this section here is where this peg's in, so you can just pull that up. There's the port and the peg. We're going to go ahead and do the same on the other side. Unpeg this. And next we're going to come here to the bottom and we're going to take out the arms. And you can just fold these out and then rotate around here. And we can repeat the same process with the other arm. Fold it out and rotate around. Like that. Now we can come here to the top to the windshield, and you're just going to want to pull up like that, and then come down here to the back side, and this does peg in to this part here. You're going to want to kind of wiggle it out there, and you can see that there are the two pegs here that go into this section here. So next we're going to want to turn to the front of the hood, and we can go ahead and push this in from the other side. push that down, and now that that's free, we can take the head and rotate it up. Pops out here. And now we're going to want to come here to this piece, this silver piece. And this is going to rotate all the way around. So now it's sitting like that. And next we're going to want to go ahead and take this piece and bring it down a little bit, and then we're going to hinge this whole assembly down. And there's, up in here, there's 2 spots that these silver pegs are going to go into. So you just want to line that up. Push that down. And there we have that part all done. Now we can come back here to the hood assembly and fold this up. So you're going to want to take the doors, and kind of angle them down like that. And then this whole piece is going to collapse up and fold in like this. And then you can just put the doors, fold like that, and you can set this against his back, just like that. So next we're going to come down to the legs, and you can fold these out, and there are 2 pegs in here that are going to attach to the back of his knee joint. Clip those in, and now we can come and separate these, and now folding out his feet, and we can rotate this down and repeat the same on the other side. Rotate it down, and we are coming to the home stretch of the transformation. So we're going to come here next to the arms. You can rotate these down, and here are the hands, which do just flip out as such. And you can see there actually is molded in detail inside there, which is nice. I wish that it wasn't a hollow space, but at least they took the time to detail the hollowness. So we can rotate the arm around so that it's sitting appropriately, and do the same with the other side. And flip out the hand and rotate that around. And now there we have Studio Series Jazz, and he is all transformed up into his robot mode. So coming in here, we can take a look at the head sculpt. It is cast in black plastic, and we have some blue paint here for the visor, some nice silver for the face. This looks really great. You can see the Autobot insignia smack there in the front of his chest. Again, we can see this nice silver detail and the blue picked out for the headlights. Coming here to the torso, it is picked out in silver paint. It does look a little bit short here. I wish it would have been elongated a little more, but it's not a deal breaker or anything. Coming down here to the crotch plate, we do have some nice blue paint on either side. The shins do have some nice silver paint here and are detailed really lovely. And yeah, that about covers it for that. The only issue I have is these legs are a little bit floppy. Like, it doesn't feel like this piece is very secure. They do kind of just, they don't stay very well, which can make it a little obnoxious to pose him out. Yeah, he just kind of falls back like that. And also, he does seem to have a lot more hollow space on him than the other Studio 86 releases. So he does kind of feel more like a War for Cybertron release. The aesthetic is still similar enough, they all kind of fit in with each other, but it definitely seems like this was meant for the War for Cybertron line. And so now we can turn to articulation. The head is on a ball joint, and it can look side to side, and it does look up about that far. He can't really look down. His chin runs into that there. Then turning to the arms, we can rotate a full 360. They do hinge out like that. There is a bicep swivel. The arms do bend about 90 degrees here. There's no rotation here at the wrist. And turning down here to the legs, he does kick out that far. He can kick back about this far. And also coming here, we can see he kicks out. He can't do the full splits, but he can do pretty far. Also here for the toes, you can rotate them down or hinge them down and up like this. There are ankle rocker joints. And also coming here, there is some waist rotation, which is nice. So overall, this guy is really posable. You can get some really great poses with him. And now we can bring in his weapon. We can arm him up. Again, the silver painted gun. And we can just peg this in to his hand. And there you have him with his weapon, so he can fight the Decepticons. So now coming in here for some size comparisons, we can have him next to Siege Red Alert. You can see they're about the same size. They scale really well together. The War for Cybertron and Studio Series figures, you know, pretty much work together if you're trying to complete the G1 cast. And now I'm going to bring in War for Cybertron Kingdom Cyclonus. And this is a Voyager class figure. He's a really tall Voyager though. And again, these guys, they look pretty good together. You can see how they scale. And also bringing in War for Cybertron Siege Voyager class Springer. So you can see how they look together. And last but not least, bringing in War for Cybertron Kingdom Leader Class Ultra Magnus. See how they look together. So that just about wraps it up for Studio Series 86 Jazz. Overall, this is a really great figure. I'm glad I added him to my collection. He definitely looks very G1 accurate. He's probably the best mainline Jazz we've gotten so far. My only critiques, of course, kind of lie with the aesthetic is a little more War for Cybertron trilogy than Studio Series 86 with the hollow gaps in the legs and also in the arms. I also would have liked to see in vehicle mode the back section have a little more paint on it, and there should have been pins, I think, for the front wheels instead of mushroom peg to match the back a little better. But other than that, this guy is really great. I think I'd give him an 8 out of 10. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you not? And until next time, see y'all later.